Legends, lore, and full-blown fantasies, castles have a distinct magical feel that draws in travelers regardless of age or background. If the thought of opulent interiors, stately architecture, and mesmerizing scenery excites you, you might want to consider planning your next vacation to one of these luxurious castles. After all, it's never too late to be living out your childhood fairy tale daydreams. Let's see what luxury is hiding behind these castle walls. Number 10. Neuschwanstein Castle, Germany. There are a few places on Earth that look like storybook illustrations, and the Neuschwanstein Castle is one of them. This beautiful historicist palace dates back to the 19th century and is located on a rugged hill above the village of Hohenschwangau in southwest Bavaria, Germany. King Ludwig II of Bavaria commissioned it as a retreat and in honor of Richard Wagner. With its towers, turrets, frescoes, and throne hall, this marvelous, dreamy castle looks like it was plucked straight from your favorite fairy tale. The name Neuschwanstein literally translates to New Swanstone Castle. And although its height is not one of its distinctive features, the castle's highest tower reaches up to 213 feet. And thanks to the fact that the castle is perched on a hill, its silhouette is pretty imposing too. According to estimates, the total square footage of the castle is roughly 65,000 square feet. Number 9. Frederiksborg Castle, Denmark. Beautifully situated on 3 small islets in the Castle Lake in Hillerød, Frederiksborg Castle is one of Denmark's most incredible historical sites that dates back to the 17th century. The walls of the castle are particularly remarkable, with major cultural attractions for the entire family. And the highly picturesque setting of the palace is pretty mesmerizing too, making it ideal for peaceful walks in the gardens and boat trips. King Christian IV built Frederiksborg Castle, and as of today, it is the largest Renaissance complex in the Nordic region. Like a number of other historical sites, the primary purpose behind the construction of this castle was to show off and enhance Christian IV's status as a powerful European monarch. Because what else screams luxury louder than a beautiful castle richly adorned with symbolic and decorative elements? Number 8. Pena Palace, Portugal. Here is one of the finest tourist attractions you need to add to your bucket list when visiting Portugal. The Palácio Nacional de Pena really exemplifies the 19th century Romanticism style of architecture of the country. It's a hedonistic mixture of vividly painted terraces, decorative battlements, and mythological statues, all of which is further enhanced due to the lush greens of the Parque de Pena forest. But it's not just the exterior of the palace that's awe-striking. The interior is sure to blow away visitors just as much. It has been restored to reflect the decor in 1910, when the Portuguese nobility fled to Brazil to escape the revolution. Number 7. Alhambra Palace, Spain. The name Alhambra, signifying in Arabic, the red, is derived from the reddish color of the tapia, or rammed earth, of which the castle's outer walls are built. Its colored tiles, carved stucco and wood, and calligraphy make this historical palace one of Spain's most memorable spots. The castle has been constructed on a plateau that overlooks the city of Granada, and its impressive interior decorations can be ascribed to Yusuf I, who died in 1354. Although much of the interior and the furniture was ruined or removed after the expulsion of the Moors in 1492, Charles V managed to rebuild portions in the Renaissance style. He even destroyed part of the Alhambra just to build an Italianate palace designed by Pedro Machuca in 1526. Number 6. Himeji Castle, Japan. Situated in the city of Himeji, this castle is a hilltop Japanese castle complex built in the 14th century by the Akamatsu family. It was redesigned and rebuilt beginning in 1581 by the warlord Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and enlarged during 1601 and 1609 by the Tokugawa family. The complex comprises a maze-like arrangement of fortified buildings, walls, and gates, with a 6-story tower keep at its center. Defensive walls and a double moat surround the entire complex. The walls of the building have a total length of 3 miles, and some sections reach a height of 85 feet. Considering that the castle is the largest and best-preserved samurai fortification in the country, an official national treasure of Japan, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it's a pretty huge deal, and a must-see for any visitor who wishes to explore the beauty of Japan. Number 5. Buckingham Palace, UK. If there's one palace on this list that you're probably familiar with, it's Buckingham Palace. not only as it serves as the official London residence of the UK sovereign since 1837, but it is also the administrative headquarters of the monarch as of today. The staterooms at Buckingham Palace are frequently in use for several official events and receptions held by the Queen. Nevertheless, they're still open to visitors every summer, attracting a number of tourists worldwide. The palace has 775 rooms, including 19 staterooms, 52 royal and guest bedrooms, and 78 bathrooms. Number 4, Mont Saint-Michel, France. A hypnotizing island topped by a gravity-defying abbey, Mont Saint-Michel and its bay are among France's most beloved sites, and one the tourists cannot afford to miss out on. It has also been one of Europe's major pilgrimage destinations for centuries. Unfortunately, though, man-made activities like farming and building a causeway to the Mont have resulted in the bay being prone to silting up over the years. A major conservation project was initiated back in 2015, which has helped restore island status to the Mont Saint-Michel. The main river into the bay, the Quénon, has now been allowed to flow more freely. This way, sediments are washed out to sea. A bridge has also replaced what once was a causeway, which has enabled the sea to surround the mount at particularly high tides. The Mont Saint-Michel truly draws the eye from a great distance, making it one of Europe's most memorable sites for locals and visitors alike. Number 3, Schönbrunn Palace, Austria. Austria has numerous cultural assets that make the place worth visiting, and the Schönbrunn Palace certainly has its spot on the list. It is one of Europe's most incredible Baroque complexes that has been in possession of the Habsburgs since 1569. Eleanor von Gonzaga, the wife of Emperor Ferdinand II, had a pleasure palace built on the site in 1642, a property that she referred to as Schönbrunn for the first time. However, following the siege of Vienna in 1696, the palace and the garden complex were entirely redesigned under Maria Theresa. Thanks to its historical relevance, distinctive layout, and magnificent furnishings, the palace is a UNESCO World Heritage Site today. Number 2, Biltmore Estate, USA. This is what America's largest home looks like. George Vanderbilt's 250-room castle is a top attraction in Asheville and one of the most remarkable castles in the world. The French Renaissance castle in the heart of Asheville and the Blue Ridge Mountains genuinely is an architectural jewel that drips with elegance and grandeur. Its 250 rooms comprise 35 bedrooms, 43 bathrooms, and 65 fireplaces. But it's not just the house that speaks for itself. In addition to the building, the 8,000-acre estate is home to forested trails and amazing gardens, including one of the country's most complete collections of azaleas. The estate was built over a century ago as a grand retreat in the North Carolina mountains by George W. Vanderbilt. Today, it is still privately owned and operated by his descendants. And number 1, Stirling Castle, Scotland. Planning a visit to central Scotland is pretty much incomplete without talking about Stirling Castle. Sitting on high volcanic rocks, the site is visible for many miles in every direction, making its sheer magnificence unparalleled. The castle is cared for by the Historic Environment Scotland. It has been historically important and of strategic interest to anyone wanting to control central Scotland. That explains the long and bloody history of Stirling Castle. No wonder it's been attacked or besieged at least 16 times over the course of decades. 3 battles have been fought in its immediate vicinity, 2 of which were significant turning points in Scottish history.